Hi, guys. Welcome to the Power Network. I'm Amy. It's Florida Woman Friday, and we've got case updates. Donna Adelson, guilty as sin. What's up with the Boonster, Sarah Boone, Blaine Boone? What's going on with her? And finally, Stefan Sterns. Apparently, he's in the worst prison ever. So let's look at these updates and more. I'm going to roll credits. Love you guys.
If heaven had wings out to you, then I'd fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day.
Hearing the essence of gratitude. It's so good to be back here. Back here with my power crew. I'm having kind of a bummer day, so I am feeling a little sad and meh. I had other plans today. I was going to go and film my Strange Highways, but some stuff came up, so we're not doing that. So we're doing Plan B, and we're doing Florida Woman Friday. There are some updates and our favorite Florida cases. Donna Adelson was found guilty as sin. I saw a video out there saying that Stefan Sterns is in the worst prison ever, which good, couldn't happen to a worse or better guy. And yeah, I saw Tanika's 2 cents did an update on our Boonster, and I haven't seen Tanika in a while, and I haven't updated on the Boonster in a while. So yeah, that's what the plan is. Before we get started, if we could just start that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps us go out into the algorithm party out there, bring more people back. It's just a free way to help me out, and it's really, really appreciated. Have you guys been keeping up with the Donna Adelson trial? It went by really quick. I had just saw that the defense had rested, and yeah, so and it didn't seem to take that long for them to decide that she was guilty. So let's get into that. Let's start off with Donna. Let me get my screen all situated. I hope you guys are having a great Friday, better one than I am. Thing in its entirety, but I will put everything down in the YouTube comment section. We do this for fair play use and to cite our sources.
Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict? Yeah. If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff.
I mean, look at the look on her face. I don't know why there was even a doubt in her mind that she would be found guilty, but okay.
Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
She's so
Mrs.
dramatic.
Adelson, control yourself.
Oh my God, what a shock.
Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as the count 2 of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as the count 3 of the indictment, solicitation to commit first-degree murder.
Oh my
The
God.
defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room.
That judge seems like he's completely and totally over Donna. Like, I'm through with you. You're just too much. So she was found guilty on all of the above. I thought we would go in and look at the evidence that convicted her, because over on Law and Crime, we have all evidence against Donna Adelson: snitches, wiretaps, and stapled cash, whatever that means. What does stapled cash mean?
It was to keep her grandkids, but it wasn't supposed to go that far.
Jailhouse snitches, wiretaps, text messages, and an attempt to flee to Vietnam. Those are just a few of the pieces of evidence prosecutors have presented against Donna Adelson in her trial for the conspiracy to murder Dan Markel. Will it be enough for a jury to convict her?
Yes, it was enough.
Welcome to
Angela.
Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. The state of Florida is done presenting its case against Donna Adelson for the conspiracy to murder Dan Markel. A conspiracy, after all, is simply a plan. The prosecution has to prove that Donna Adelson was part of a plan, an agreement to carry out the murder of Dan Markel. And the prosecution believes they've proven that through the testimony of a number of witnesses. Dan Markel was shot to death in his garage in July 2014 after dropping off his two young sons at preschool and then working out at the gym. Two hitmen, Latin Kings gang members Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia, were identified as the hitmen hired by Donna Adelson's son, Charlie Adelson, to murder Markel. Rivera testified in Donna's trial, saying he was told that Wendy Adelson, the ex-wife of Dan Markel, wanted their children. So that was the reason why Markel was being murdered.
And what was the purpose of this murder as you understood it?
That they wanted the kids.
Who wanted the kids?
Wendy.
Okay. And did you understand that you were killing the father of the kids so that Wendy could have the kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you previously referred to a dentist being involved?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was the dentist?
Charlie.
And how was he related?
Katie's boyfriend. IP.
Wasn't the whole family in dentistry? I think the whole family, they had a dentist office.
Whatever you want to call him.
All right. So Katie was the wife of Garcia, but also the girlfriend of the dentist?
Yeah.
Did you have any contact with the dentist ever?
No.
Did you have any contact with any member of the Adelson family?
No, ma'am.
Everything went through Katie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did the dentist, if you know, have to do with the lady in Tallahassee who needed her kids?
I don't know nothing about him.
Now, Charlie's ex-girlfriend, Katie Magbanwa, was the link between the Adelsons and the hitmen. Katie testified against Charlie Adelson at his trial after being convicted at her trial. She has now testified against Donna Adelson.
And did you go to Charlie Adelson's house to get the money on the night of the shooting?
Yes, ma'am. He had contacted me and told me that there was an accident and if he can have dinner with me that night.
Okay. And the accident was a reference to the shooting of Dan Markel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which was not an accident, right?
No, ma'am.
When you get there, how is Charlie acting?
He was pretty frantic, just pacing back and forth, and he had a gun in his hand.
Okay. Was that unusual behavior for him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he say anything about his parents when you arrived at his house that night?
He told me that his parents just left.
Did you end up staying the night there?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Were you planning on spending the night there?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Okay. Originally, was your plan to get the money and take it to the two men that killed Mr. Markel?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
All right. What happened the next morning?
Well, since that night, since he was like pacing back and forth and he had given me a Xanax, that's why I fell asleep.
Okay.
That's why
Did he take Xanax as well?
Yes, ma'am, he took one as well.
Okay. And the next morning, did something happen with the money?
Yes, ma'am. So I woke up. I was like, I got to get out of here. And he told me that the money is in the trunk of my car.
Magbanwa then talked about
Charlie was a real piece of work. He's been convicted. Welcome to everybody to Florida Woman Friday. Those that are just joining us, we're doing some updates on some Florida cases. Donna Adelson is who we're talking about right now. A jury convicted Donna on September 4th, 2025 for her role in the 2014 murder for hire for her former son-in-law, Florida State University law professor Dan Markel. Adelson was found guilty on all 3 charges. We just watched that and she was shocked. Oh my gosh, all 3 charges: first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree red rum. Key details from the conviction and trial was the motive, trial evidence, previous convictions. Donna Adelson is the 5th person to be convicted in this murder. Her son, Charlie, was convicted in 2023. The 2 hired hitmen and a middleman also have been convicted. A lot of people believe that her daughter is the next one to be sent down the river or up the river. What is that? Gosh, what is that saying? Sent up the river? I think it's sent up the river, not down the river. So and we're looking at the snitches, wiretaps, and the stuff that actually convicted her with Angelette Levy.
How the money was packaged when she received her cut.
When you opened the Ziploc bag, did you notice that the money was stapled together?
Yes, ma'am,
It was. Okay. Did you notice something else unusual about the money?
At that moment, I didn't when I opened it, but a couple of days after the fact, it was wet and starting to mold.
The money itself was damp to the touch.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And did you ever mention that back to Charlie Adelson?
I'm pretty sure I contacted him and told him why is the money.
So is that a thing that people actually wash money and so then it became moldy? I thought laundering money, I always thought was like just a term, like you're somehow whitewashing it through the system to launder it. That's what I thought it meant. I didn't think you actually washed it to me, and then it goes moldy.
What
What do you mean pretty sure? You did or you didn't?
That I didn't.
Okay. And when you contacted him and said
What would be the reason to launder it? Like maybe I'm not reading this right.
he's wet, or you just mentioned
It
that
feels silly that they would like actually get the water wet.
the money's wet. Did he have a response?
Yes, ma'am. He told me
Go
told
ahead.
me that his mom washed the money.
Did she physically wash the money?
Yes, ma'am.
Katie Magbanwa also talked about
That's
receiving
what I
payroll
want to know. Hi, Kim. I really want to know how long until they go after Wendy, because I really have a feeling they are. And yeah, Wendy didn't want to testify at all in this trial, but the judge was like, "Yeah, no, you're coming, Missy. You're coming."
checks from the Adelson's dental
Because
practice.
she testified in all 4 of the others. I mean, can you imagine? And now how many will come for her when it's her time? Like everybody in prison will come after her, I bet.
Despite not working there.
Including her mom.
You started getting paychecks in September after the murder, which continued through May of 2016. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And how would you receive the paychecks?
Charlie would give it to me.
All right. And you admit that you weren't doing anything to earn that money
No, ma'am. I was
other
not.
than contributing to this murder.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the paychecks, would they come one at a time or multiples at a time?
It would be multiple.
Okay. Do you know why the paychecks stopped when they stopped?
At that time, Sigfredo got arrested.
So they got spooked.
Yes.
Who signed the paychecks?
I'm sorry. 1 moment. You right. Negative.
Who signed your paychecks from the Adelson Institute?
Donna Adelson.
How many paychecks did you receive?
I can't recall.
Does 44 sound right?
Can't recall.
If we assume 44, how many of them were signed
And
by
they
Donna?
said that the family was super cheap. They were like cheapskates. So it was very odd that this woman was receiving all this money. Like apparently they would give their dentist patients just like this cheap thing of floss that, most dentists will give you a little package, but they really didn't want to do any of that. I did look up and I said, why would Donna get the water wet in the Donna Adelson trial? Because I don't understand that. And it says Donna Adelson got the water wet by laundering cash believed to be part of the payment for the murder of Dan Markel. It's a literal interpretation of the term money laundering and is believed to have been an attempt to remove any potential DNA or fingerprints from the money. And this is where the stapled comes in. It says the cash was stapled together and Donna reportedly washed it in a washing machine. The result, this caused the money to become mildewed and never dry completely as the water couldn't reach the areas under the staples. The motive, Donna is thought to have heard the term money laundering and naively believed it meant physically washing the cash. Like, I didn't think it was a thing. I thought it was just a term. This action is considered a key piece of evidence in Dan Markel's murder case. The statement, "get the water wet," is not a direct quote from Donna Adelson. It is a colloquial way of describing her unusual and literal act of money laundering. Would you like... Oh. Sorry. That's really funny. It's like Keystone Cops or something. Woo! Okay. I'm having a really bad day, but I needed that laugh. Oh, that's perfect.
Adelson.
All of them.
How many were signed by Charlie Adelson?
None.
There's a reason Crime Fix is one of the top ranked shows on YouTube right
Oh, I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while.
Personal information and identifying information for members of her family and even some friends in there too.
She did.
And as part of that information in the 2014 planner, did you locate any information specific to Dan Markel's vehicle?
We did.
Oh.
Donna's giving out
What
moldy
information was that?
money.
This is the 08 Accord on the left middle of the page, right there. It's the 08 Accord, and the tag number is 584YBM.
That's Dan Markel's tag number at the time of his murder?
It is.
Same vehicle that the killers pursued?
That's correct.
It would only make sense that Donna might have her ex-son-in-law's license plate number to possibly pass along to the hitmen. 2 of Donna Adelson's 3 children have testified against her. Wendy took the stand only because she was subpoenaed and granted limited immunity.
At the time of Dan Markel's murder, was the defendant, your mother, very angry at Dan Markel?
Before he died?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And you hated him too, right?
At certain points, I was very frustrated with him.
Did you refer to him as an STD?
Oh,
I don't remember saying that.
Tab 5.
she's going to point it out. Tab 5, paragraph 2, 3 words in.
It looks like I made that analogy.
Danny is an STD. One wrong mistake, marrying him, and this will never go away. Is that what you said?
I did.
Did you share that kind of sentiment with your mother?
I don't remember ever saying that, so I don't think it's something I said very often.
And this was said in an email on February 26th of 2013, correct?
It was.
Approximately 17 months before the murder?
Yes, I don't think it was an email, though. It looks like it was sort of an iMessage.
Okay. Did you ever refer to your ex-husband as the Dark Lord?
I don't remember saying that.
You might as well
But I
just
certainly-
say yes, Wendy, because she's going to direct you to tab 53 or something. But how many of you guys think that have been following the case? Do you think Wendy's going to be the next one that we see up on the docket? I can't. I think it's a 50-50. Like, do they want to go for a slam dunk, which I think they could easily get, or did they get the people good enough, and do they want to leave her on the outside because there's still kids involved? Although I think I looked and the kids are like 16, 17, 18, but kids still need their their family. And speaking of this, I'm going to sidetrack just for a second. And have you guys seen this? I'm doing this tomorrow, but I'm going to do a video on it. This unknown caller. It's about this these middle school kids in Michigan that are getting this unknown text from this unknown caller repeatedly for like 2 or 3 years, and it just gets darker and darker and darker. And I'm not going to tell you anything else because it's better just to go in this show knowing very little, because it is really well done and it's a shocker. It's a shocker because usually I am somebody who I love a good mystery, and the whole time I'm trying to figure it out. And if I figure it out from the get, it's like I'm really bored with the show. But the whole time, like, I had to hold myself back not to fast forward to the end just to know who it was, because I was like, they take you down these twists and turns, and they film it in a way. I'm not gonna, like, in the video, I'm gonna go into it more, but there'll be like a, spoiler alert so people don't watch it. But they filmed it in a way where they purposely tricked you, but I dig it. I really like it. And I'm seeing it all over the internet now, so you better go watch it fast, and don't watch anybody's TikToks or anything, because it gives it right away. But anyway, getting back to this, how many of you guys think Wendy is next?
Might have.
Wendy Adelson was also asked about testifying in the trial of her brother Charlie.
When was the last time you spoke to your mother, Donna Adelson, as we sit here today?
I think it's Unknown Numbers.
November
That's the name of the show.
2023.
Okay. And so she hasn't given you any information or advice about how to testify in court, has
No,
she?
ma'am. No.
What about, you did offer testimony in November of 2023 as well, right, on a related case?
Yes.
Okay,
October.
And did your mom, when you spoke to her in November of 2023, offer you any advice or thoughts about how you should act or behave or what you should say in court?
Yes,
She did.
she did.
And what was that?
I can't tell you I remember exactly, but she was hoping I would be supportive of my brother.
Okay. And do you know what her thoughts were afterwards?
I do.
Okay. And what were they?
She was devastated.
She didn't feel you were supportive.
No.
I'll have more on the
So it seems to me like Wendy gave a little bit more in her mother's trial. I think maybe Wendy's trying to keep her little tushy out of prison, though it seemed her asking not to testify at all, it sent all these warning bells up for me.
text messages.
And no, I mean, I think it's Kim, I think it's crazy. She says it was probably printed fake money, but it's just crazy that she thought like laundering money meant washing money. So yeah, it just means like putting it through different. I always thought it meant just like getting it through spending it different ways so that it gets out there in the system. That's what I thought it meant. Let me see let me get this going, and I'll Google what it means.
Between Donna and Wendy during Charlie's trial here in a bit. Donna Adelson's estranged son, Rob Adelson, also testified against his mother more willingly than Wendy did.
Based on your personal observations throughout your life of your parents and of your siblings, who's the leader in the family? Who tends to run the show?
I think my mom.
Okay, so Donna Adelson.
Yes.
Would you describe Donna Adelson's personality as being more controlling or more laid back?
I think more on the controlling side.
What about, is she kind of a more assertive person or a more passive person?
More assertive.
What about your dad, Harvey Adelson? What's his personality like?
I think he's more passive, more go with the flow.
Harvey's another one. Is he going to get in trouble? And I forgot about this brother that wanted nothing to do with any of this. So laundering money is the illegal process of concealing the origins of illegally obtained money to make it appear as if it came from legitimate sources. Criminals engage in this activity so they can use or invest their illicit funds without attracting the attention of law enforcement or tax authorities. So, it says the 3 stages of money laundering is placement. This is the initial stages where dirty money from criminal activities is put into legitimate financial system. For instance, a criminal might mix illicit cash with the daily sales of legitimate cash intensive business like a restaurant or laundromat. Layering the stage involves creating complex layers of financial. Just cracks me up that she just put it through the washer. Oh, I gotta not think that because it makes me laugh. Okay. The stage involves creating complex layers of financial transactions to obscure the money's origins. Don't think about it, Amy. Common methods include electronically moving money between different countries, buying and selling assets like real estate or cryptocurrency, or funneling it. And then there's integration in the final stage. You put it through the washer. No, Amy, no. The money is fully integrated back into the legitimate economy after its source has been successfully disguised. So, and then you can invest in legal businesses and whatnot. It's insane. It's very insane. But it's perfect for Florida Woman Friday. It's just perfection. Crazy stuff goes down in this state, and I love it. You either love it or you hate it, and I would or you laugh at it or you cry, and I'd rather laugh. I've been crying for too long. So things that used to, like, I don't know, it's funny. It's funny. I'm laughing at more stuff these days. So
Okay. So they're kind of opposites in that way a bit.
Yeah.
When you and your siblings were growing up, was Donna Adelson a very involved parent?
Yes.
And when I say involved, as far as with your life and with your friends and with school and with that type of thing?
Absolutely.
Did she have certain fixed ideas throughout your life of certain things she wanted to happen in you and your siblings' life?
Yes, absolutely.
Was it acceptable if you decided to not do those certain things that she was fixated she wanted you to do? Was that acceptable to her or no?
No, I think she had certain sort of rigid, fixed ideas or impressions for what she wanted for us. And, if you went along with that, things were fine. If you didn't, things were not fine.
This brother actually looks more like the father, and the other two, the brother and sister, remind me more of Donna. But he kind of looked like Donna too, but he looked like he'd been through the ringer, that brother.
Adelson's testimony helped the state. He painted his mother as a domineering matriarch who didn't seem concerned.
Well, I mean, with a mother like Donna, he did go through the ringer. The whole family
Dan
did.
Markel at all. He described meeting with the FBI and what happened afterwards.
They came to our house. I was already at work, and so they talked to my wife. It had to be a Wednesday or Thursday, so I was already at work.
Was this your house in New York?
Yes.
Okay. And did you end up talking to law enforcement and letting them, answering their questions, letting them know what you knew?
Yeah, they came to my office the next day, and we with two agents, and we had an interview.
Okay. After that conversation you said it was the FBI earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay. After that conversation with the FBI, did Donna Adelson ever say anything to you about having talked to law enforcement or the FBI?
It was either that afternoon or the next day, but and she called me and said, I just want to let you know, if the police come around, don't talk to them.
Okay, so she told you not to talk to law enforcement.
Correct.
Did you let her know that you already had talked to law enforcement?
Yeah, I said I already did.
What did she say to that?
She said, "Oh, well, you don't know anything anyway."
You don't know anything anyway?
Correct.
Was that an unusual statement coming from your mother?
Yeah, everything that week was unusual, but I clearly didn't know anything, but I wasn't going to not talk to the FBI if they show up at my house.
How did you respond? Let me ask you this. After the murder of Dan Markel, did Donna Adelson seem curious about who killed Dan Markel?
No.
Was there a complete lack of curiosity?
Yeah, nobody seemed curious.
Did you actually ever ask her, after the murder, hey, what do you think happened? What do you...
Yeah, and the conversations were kind of rerouted, or that was certainly discouraged. And it was probably maybe sometime mid-August, when I finally had a chance to ask and say, what is going on? This was not a small event. This was getting a lot of notoriety. And I said, what do you guys think happened? And she had said, I don't know and I don't care. It doesn't concern me.
Was that out of character for her to not be curious and not be asking some questions?
Yeah, I mean, it was
How
an
would it
unsolved.
not concern her, considering that it was her beloved grandkid's father? That would be very concerning. And why would you not be concerned and not think that if he got unalived, that they wouldn't be coming after everybody in the family? Because you don't, you know, if you didn't have anything anyway, we all know she had something to do with it.
Murder of, you know, my former brother-in-law, like someone that we all know very well. And if it was like some neighborhood gossip, people would be interested. This was like national interest, and nobody had any curiosity about, you know, who did this to Danny.
Now, the jury heard hours and hours of wiretap phone calls between Donna and Charlie. I'm not going to play them all for you, but they happened after the bump, where an FBI agent posing as a relative of one of the hitmen demanded money. Charlie and Donna can be heard speaking in code on those calls. There were two witnesses Donna Adelson's attorneys were very concerned about. Two women who served time with Donna Adelson, jailhouse snitches. Drina Barnhart told the jury that she and Donna Adelson became very close during the time that they were in the Leon County Jail together.
She fought hard so that snitch wouldn't be able to come on board and testify. And that's such an interesting. I've been in Lindsay Valdry's chats lately, and she's been in mine, and she was in prison for a few years, and the whole like finding a mother, like having an older woman in prison, and then there's all these younger girls that work under, I like that whole the whole prison system interests me. And so Donna was the mother to this prison snitch, but you can't trust anybody in prison. One of my favorite prison creators is Jumpsuit Pablo, and he was just saying this the other day, like you can't trust anybody, which I mean makes sense because it's a bunch of, you know, criminals in prison.
All right, can you describe your friendship with Mrs. Adelson?
Yes, initially it was very nice. She actually called me her jail daughter, and she and I got close. And how much more detail do you want?
Well, by close, did you talk to each other about personal things like your life?
Yes.
Okay. And did she have a nickname for you besides her jail daughter?
Yes, Sunshine.
Did she paint pictures for you and write notes to you and things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is this her initials down here?
Yes, ma'am.
And on the back, is that a little note to you?
Yes, it is.
Dear Drina, I hope your life will be filled with love, joy, and flowers. You deserve only the best because you are the best loved Donna. Is that what you wrote?
Yes.
So Drina Barnhart told the jury she was close to Donna Adelson and that Donna wrote notes to her and made pictures for her. She also testified that Donna was very worried about some of the people testifying against her in her trial.
Did Donna Adelson ever talk to you when she was talking about her case? Did she ever mention any concerns about the testimony of her son, Rob Adelson?
Yes, she did. She said she was extremely worried about his testimony.
Okay, so that was something that she brought up often or only one time?
A few times.
So Donna Adelson was worried, according to Drina, about
Damn those honest sons. They're the ones that you got to look out for.
Rob Adelson's testimony. And she was also worried about the testimony of Charlie Adelson's ex-girlfriend and convicted co-conspirator Katie Magbanwa. Drina Barnhart testified that Donna Adelson gave her a script to follow.
Whose notebook is this?
That's mine.
And whose handwriting is this on this first page?
That's Donna's, Miss Adelson.
Okay, so she wrote this in your notebook?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is it you were supposed to do with this information?
I was supposed to study it and answer it correctly on the stand for her.
So this is what she wanted you to say in court.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
So for example, how did you know Donna Adelson? You were supposed to say everyone knew her. She's been on the news. I've seen and heard about this on TV shows and read it in the newspaper over the years.
Correct.
Do you read the newspaper?
No.
Okay. Did you know much about her or her case prior to coming in contact with her in the Leon County Jail?
No, ma'am.
Oh, you know, but I'm
And what
going
were
to
you
call
supposed to do?
shenanigans on this. I'm sure everybody in there knew what Donna was in there for. And also, I wonder what, not to say that she's wrong, I mean, for giving this up, but I wonder what she's getting for this. I wonder what she's getting in exchange for this, because it's still just jail that they're in, right? So what are they getting? What's she getting?
physical script?
I was supposed to copy it down and give it back to her.
Okay, copy it into your own handwriting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
Oh, well, the only time I was sat on a jury trial, Olga says, the first time a snitch it's not the first time. Yeah, it's not the first time a snitch has testified. The only jury trial that I was in, it was these guys stole some scaffolding. I'm from Michigan, and they drove down Gratiot, and they tied it to their roof of their car with their shoelaces and drove down Gratiot. And the guy that was on trial for me, the guy who had already been convicted, was snitching and testifying against them. So, I mean, it happens all the time, right? So it's not surprising, but I do wonder, like, what is she getting for it? Because I'm sure she's getting something for being honest. I was reading this thing too on Reddit. This guy put on, like, I'm going to prison. What should I do? And this guy who replied who had already been on prison, and it was like these 10 things. And one of it, like up at the top, was do not snitch. Don't snitch. I don't care who you are. Just don't snitch. So, I mean, I wonder what she's getting for snitching like this. Yeah. I wonder what she'll get. Zero direct evidence linking Donna. Yeah, I had heard some people say that there was a good possibility that she wasn't going to be convicted, but you know, I just don't think in our system, although Florida didn't convict Casey Anthony, so I don't know. I was pretty sure she was going to be convicted. I just wonder about Wendy now.
Did you provide this item to my office?
Yes, ma'am.
And was it copied and returned to you?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do with it once you returned with the original to Leon County Jail?
Return it to her.
I'm gonna go down a paragraph here. It says that you approached Mrs. Adelson and told her you had information about Kay that you wanted to give her. Is that true?
No.
This says that Kay told you that she told Charlie on the night of the murder that some friends of hers went to Tallahassee and killed him. Did Kay ever tell you that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. She asked him to give her the 1/3 of $1 million that he was going to pay his sister so that she could relocate with her children to Miami. He went crazy on her. He said that that was going to be an offer to his brother-in-law not to kill him.
Barnhart said she was promised things for her testimony.
While I was in jail, I received packages and phone calls, and I was promised things as well.
What type of packages?
Packages are in jail, just like a bunch of basically gas station food, but it's exciting when you're in jail.
Oh, well, gas station food is exciting. Oh, so you think Charlie did it? I don't know. He's so bumbling that he doesn't strike me as a mastermind. Donna's a little bit, I mean, even though reportedly she put money in the washing machine, she just strikes me as being a little more cunning than Charlie. But I mean, I obviously Charlie was in it because he did get the girlfriend who knew the people. It was through his girlfriend. Is Charlie in prison for life? I don't know that. Let me look that up.
And what about phone calls? What do you mean by that?
Just the phone calls are very expensive from jail, so she would let me use her phone to call my mother and other people.
Okay, and you said she promised you other things in the future. What other types of things?
$10,000, a grand piano.
What else?
She promised me cameras, but
none of that came to fruition.
No.
Okay. And what about pills? Did she mention anything to you about pills?
Yes, that if I needed pills, that I could call a doctor named, I think Obed. I think that's his name.
Okay.
Yes.
And that person would write you some prescriptions?
Yes, ma'am.
And why would you be in need of prescription medication?
I'm a recovering drug addict.
So Donna, knowing her connection to dental people, is promising that kind of stuff. I did look, and it said that Charlie is serving a life sentence in prison. In December 23, he was sentenced to life without, it's life without parole. Because I was going to say sometimes life just means a certain amount of years, but he got without parole for orchestrating the 2014 murder for hire of his former, yeah. Wow. When is Donna's sentencing? Let me see. When do you guys know when Donna's sentencing is? Let's see. So, she's been found guilty. Let me disable my ad blocker. Jury reaches a verdict. Donna, the 75-year-old grandmother accused of helping orchestrate the murder for hire, was convicted on September 4th. The jury of 12 people returned guilty verdicts against Donna. So was this, a jury of 12 people returned guilty verdicts against Donna Adelson after deliberating for about 3 hours, the same amount of time jurors deliberated in the murder trial of her son, Charlie, before returning a guilty verdict against him in 2023. So it's really not taking them very long at all to find these people guilty. With the death penalty off the table, she faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison. So it doesn't say life without parole. She was the second person in her well-to-do South Florida family to be found guilty. She was the fifth person overall. Does it tell us when? She did gasp when it came out. So let me see if it says when. Doesn't look like it's telling me when they're going to sentence her, but so she hasn't been sentenced, so we don't know what her total sentencing is going to be yet. Here, there is somebody, I did want to watch this really quick before we moved on. The legal analysis discusses lack of Donna Adelson's testimony and extra noise as the defense rested.
5:30, everybody. I'm Abby Walton.
And I'm Zach Dahlheimer. It has been a chaotic day in the courtroom as the defense started winding down its side of the case, with everyone wondering if
it looks like they moved Charlie, it was saying, to South Dakota. So Charlie isn't even in Florida anymore. He got moved to a different prison. So that's interesting too. Next week, if you want me to do a full, see on this case, and we can look at everybody and then see if Wendy's next, we can do that. I can get that all situated and ready to go.
Wilson would take the stand. Now, to break things down for us, we've brought back our WCTV legal analyst, Joe Boniford, back into the studio. Joe, we as always appreciate you taking the time to join us. Let's get right into what a lot of people are talking about. The judge gave the defense until after lunch to decide if Donna would testify. They tried to punt it further, arguing they hadn't had enough time to discuss the issue with her, noting all the evidence introduced by the state. Eventually, Donna said she doesn't want to testify at this time. What is your take on how it all played out, and how could Donna?
That probably was I don't know. Her emotions strike me as not being real. So testifying would have probably made the jury even more annoyed, but it sounds like they were already annoyed and didn't believe her. So I don't know. I guess she should have tried to testify.
Still have been undecided at the 11th hour.
Yeah, there's a lot that could be read into that. If you watch that exchange that was going on with the judge, and we need more time, I haven't decided, we need to talk to her, we didn't have enough time during lunch, and the judge is getting frustrated. And Judge Everett keeps his cool and is a master of courtroom
Well, you
decorum.
can tell he was very frustrated with her towards the end, especially the final gasp when she was found guilty. He was like, yeah, no, zip it, Donna, zip it.
And managing trials, but he wasn't biting on this. He told her flat out, you and every defendant in every case come to this moment. And there's been ample time. She's known what the evidence is. We have mandatory full disclosure of evidence in Florida. They've known what the evidence was going to be for months, if not over a year. And not only that, but there was multiple trials before this. So there was no question. There was no reason to keep punting. But again, the attorneys can't control their client. They can't control how she thinks or what she feels. She very well just may have been so confused and stressed out she couldn't make a decision. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it's time to either do it or get off the pot. And she made her decision. Now she's got to live with it.
Well, Joe, watching today's
Or
proceedings,
she could be like a total narcissist and likes attention and just drug it out to the end until there was no more. And speaking of total narcissists, let's move on and let's go on to our favorite, Sarah Boone. I saw that Tanika 2 Cents dropped a video. Well, this was 9 days ago, but Boone family hearing. So Sarah Boone is the Florida woman who zipped her boyfriend, George Torres, into a suitcase and allowed him to suffocate. And she was offered a 15-year plea deal. She wouldn't take it. She needed to take it to the end, and she got herself life in prison. And so, but while she's doing her life in prison, she's still managing to harass her ex-husband, Brian Boone. She's still dragging him through family court, trying to get her money because she was getting alimony and she believes that she should still be getting alimony in prison. So we had Tanika on the channel, did a few collabs with her, love her. I think she's pregnant or she just had a baby, one of the two. So I think that's why she was MIA for a little while.
True crime lovelies, how are you? I'm a little hoarse. Breathing in the airplane air did something to my vocal cords. I don't know. I have airplane hair. Let's just go with it. I just want to talk about my experience going to the trial yesterday.
That's what it is. She actually visited Florida and went to one of Sarah Boone's trials. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think I got back at 1 a.m. So it's yesterday.
Sarah Boone for sure was hitting that stand, and in her case, and she for sure hit her stand. And yes, I saw it, and I saw her statement to the court at the end where it's like, I forgive all of you, but F all of you at the same time. Yeah. I saw it.
One, I was late. I missed my plane. I was flying out of EWR, which is Newark Airport, and I've only flown out of that. I've only flown in.
Okay. So let's move forward. We do put the links to everything down in the YouTube comment section. Today we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Hi everyone. Be sure to give us that DNA love and also share our content. It helps us dance out into the algorithm. It's a free way to help us out, and it's really, really appreciated.
Brian and his attorney were closing their case in chief, and Josh was cross-examining Sarah, and he was asking her about various payments, it was her financial affidavit stuff he was going over. And so he was like, and I have notes, I'll do a more in-depth of what actually happened. I'm just want to get my thoughts out because my mind is racing. There's so much going on. Excuse me. But he was like, so other than money from Brian and various donations from people on the internet. I don't know if he said people on the internet, but he alluded to that.
It just makes me sick that Sarah Boone has these fans that are being given to her on the internet. When I worked with Tanika, we read these texts back and forth between this woman named Lana Oriani, I think her name was, and Sarah, and she would give her money, and she's the woman that testified in her trial for her. Lana has since passed away, so rest in peace, Lana. But I don't understand these people that are like, even in the Gypsy Rose, the people that were writing her and fangirling her, and I just don't get it. And Chris Watts has even Brian Koberger has I just Wade Wilson, just all of them. It's just I don't get it. Even the most annoying of them, Sarah Boone, has them.
And it was either people on the internet or friends, people who have befriended you, or whatever, the flying monkeys. And Phil, your brother, sending you money. Have you contributed any money? Have you paid any? And there was a long pause. I mean, obviously the answer is no. Luckily, I didn't get kicked out because I was in the back. Well, the bailiff was in the well. There was no one at the door because somebody probably would have tapped me because I was like, no. But there was a long pause. He repeated the question. And then she was like, well, sir, I don't have any money. And so basically, finally, he said, so the answer is no. And she was like, well, I don't think you understand. No.
Didn't you all hear Sarah's voice come out there? Well, sir, I don't have any money. In her way of talking. Well, sir, I don't have any money.
We understand. Then he was asking about various expenses, and she was like, well, those are just estimates. And after we regrouped, Hear Me Out was like, she's saying that because it could be a little more, a little less. Remember Patricia Cashman? So she didn't want to get like pigeonholed into that. But the fact is, she's not paying that currently. So her pretending like there's a new need for it is a little strange. She did make the comment about newly being in the prison. She was like, well, I've only been there 5 months. I can't remember in what context, but I haven't been here that long. I don't know how many times that she mentioned her release. And again, I got there at 3:30.
So I wonder if Sarah Boone has a job yet and release. I thought she was in prison for life.
It ended a little after 5, right?
Although I guess it's not life without parole. So she probably, I think each prison, when you get life, you get a certain amount of years. I think it's 23 years in Florida. Let me look it up.
So the team that was there said she had also been talking about her release, which I just think is crazy. So the judge did grant the relocation to be permanent. She told her at least 8 times while I was there. The team said all morning or all earlier afternoon it happened, of like what the topics were that they were discussing, because Sarah seemed really confused. So it was the alimony, right? The reduction or elimination of alimony, reduction or elimination of child support, which seemed to be moot at the time. Like they had already either stipulated or agreed on the record that she's not getting child support. Although I did hear that she argued for still the right to say this is what that money is going for. No, ma'am. So alimony, child support, parenting plan, and attorney's fees. That's what they were talking about. And as I suspected, the judge wasn't hearing the contempt motion for failure to pay. She was like, that's moot. You didn't put it in for cross hearing. And so Sarah was like, well, I thought that was automatically a part of it. I don't know how you didn't read the paperwork. Then it didn't say that anywhere that was automatically a part of it. So, and then at the top, obviously the motion to appear in person was moot at that point because she was there telephonically. And then her other motion, I wish I would have been there for that, for the contempt for not.
Sarah loves to be in person. She doesn't want to be left out of anything.
Filing the application. I hear Judge Jackson gave her a good dressing down. Like there was no order. I didn't put anything in about 2 weeks. This one stayed home because, like I said, we didn't get home until a little after 1. So he's in his jammies. He stayed with his sister. She picked him up. He had fun with his nephew and his sister.
Oh, his sister.
So yeah,
they already had the baby. That's I think his name is Sugar Bear.
Judge Jackson said, I never gave an order for that. There was no timeline. And she was like, oh, I thought it was an oral order. And Sarah, she told Sarah there's no oral orders. Like it would have been reduced to writing, and that didn't happen. So that got ixnayed straight away. And then the contempt for failure to file or failure to pay or whatever, that was not heard because it was not brought up properly. And then of course, if they haven't done their closing arguments, she doesn't have an order. So she'll have that after she receives it. So I suspect we will see Brian's closing argument no later than next Tuesday. Sarah's has to be postmarked by next Tuesday. So maybe we'll see it, 7 to 10 days after that. I'm not sure, but the judge was very specific. It has to be postmarked by that date. So if it comes in,
well, that would be this week. So it's already happened. I wonder if that's already going on.
2 weeks later, and it's postmarked on the 3rd, I suspect Judge Jackson will be a woman of her word and will not consider that. What my gut feeling is legally the judge has to award the money from 2020 to 2022, right? Before Brian filed. And I guess Brian had testimony that I missed. And he looks good. He looks thinner than even at trial. When did he appear at trial? Like October, early to mid-October of last year. He's thinned down. I mean, he's still a big guy, but he's slimmed down. He looked more relaxed. Apparently, he talked about he delayed it because originally he was told to wait for the conclusion of her trial. But in I
love it that he's having his glow up now that Boone is in prison. And I did look up Sarah Boone, and it looks like Sarah Boone was sentenced to life in prison without parole. So I don't know what they're talking about. And it was just for second degree. It didn't have to go down that way. That's so I don't know what she's talking about, her prison release. It does look like there have been quite a few more videos made. Well, not quite a few. It looks like there's this was 9 days ago. So over here she breaks it all down. Wow. Yeah, she breaks it all down. His opening statements. Is Sarah's freedom in jeopardy? Brian testified. Sarah's struggling as a mom. Brian Boone's final entry in family court. Brian's opening statement. Brian Boone direct and cross-exam testify. Brian Boone testifies. Phonetic phone calls from Sarah before family court. I kind of want to hear these phone calls. Let's go into this last one, and then we're going to move on to Stefan Sterns. I saw a video saying that he's in the worst prison ever and having a hell of a time.
Hello, my true crime lovelies.
I thought we could wrap up the Florida woMAN Friday with a little Stefan Stern misery for him because he caused so much misery for Maddie. Yeah, she's without parole, so I don't know. I guess every prisoner has hopes that they're going to get out. I did see a prison docuseries that it had a bunch of lifers, and some of them do at the very end get granted something and they get their freedom. Or I know a lot of people that had been sentenced to life without parole before the age of 18 were getting their cases re-looked at. So I guess they all keep hope alive, but I mean, I can't see Sarah Boone ever. Well, I mean, I can see Sarah Boone getting out because I don't think she ever needed to be. Well, if you don't, what she did was, I don't know. I don't know. It's a moot point because she did get life without parole, but she literally didn't have to. She could have only got 15 years, but I just don't get how one person who commits murder can get out in 15 years and then another get life. But I can see, like with Sarah Boone, she did it to herself. She she did it to herself. It didn't have to go down that way. Although I don't think 15 years would have been enough for Sarah. I think a good 25 years, a solid 25 years for Sarah, and then send her on her way. But it is what it is.
How are you?
Some people believe she's exactly where she needs to be, and I can respect that too.
I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in my mind. All right, we're going to go over Sarah Boone's call logs, the one that has all of the activity as she was prepping her paperwork for trial. You guys said you wanted to see it. It's going to go from July 4th to August 18th. And so we can see if more of her friends are answering, who we suspect is still helping her with her documents based on frequency. And, you know, did her son answer her calls? Because she's claiming she doesn't get enough calls, even though we heard in the hearing trial that sometimes she talks to him 6 or 7 times a week. Like, are you dating your son, man? Is there a little Oedipus Rex thing going on? No wonder Brian is concerned. All right, but let's think.
Imagine having a mom like Sarah Boone. I just feel horrible for her son, and I'm like actually not up to looking at the calls. So let's go on. Let's move on and move into Stefan Sterns, because I actually do have one other case I wanted to look at. It's not a Florida case. I was gonna just, if I felt like it, tack it on the end, but and I still might not do that, but because this is a pretty long one. But let's look at this one. This is, I think, guilty of crime. Oops, hold on a second. Guilty of crime. She covered the Stefan Sterns case pretty extensively, and she has Florida's worst prison exposed, Stefan Sterns' shocking experience. So I would love to know what Stefan Sterns' shocking experiences are, and that he's in a deadly prison. So let's get into it. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, guys. Helps us go out into the algorithm, and it's really, really appreciated.
All back and forth. Yes, Deb, I haven't even got into that yet. It's so far and it's so bad. It's a terrible situation there at one of Florida's worst prisons. All right. And happy birthday, Sadie's mama. We love you, and you are our day one. What's up, beauty lover? How you doing? Good to see you. Just remember when Turtle Island started, so I will drop a link. Thank you. I'm setting the precedence for Turtle Island because I do want you guys to go over there and vote. But I don't want anyone to get upset when they vote and they talk crap, because that's the show. All right. Jenny, Dennis, much love to you.
Okay.
Fun and relaxed. Get there. That's what this is. This is like a bad version of what it looks like.
Okay, it looks like Stefan Sterns' new home is Appalachia Correctional Institution East Unit, part of the Appalachia. Level 5 custody level that includes close, medium, and minimum custody offenders. East Unit is comprised of open bay dormitory housing units. And actually, for those that don't know who Stefan Sterns is the man who unalived little Madeline Soto. Hold on a second. He's the so as of July 21st, 2025, Stefan Sterns was sentenced to multiple life sentences in prison without parole for the unaliving and ex abuse of his girlfriend's daughter, 13-year-old Madeline Soto. He had a plea agreement. Sterns entered a plea deal with prosecutors because I think he was looking at the death penalty to avoid the death penalty. And he pleaded no contest to first degree unaliving and guilty to 20 counts of ex offenses. There was a waiver of appeals as part of the plea. He waived all rights to appeal, ensuring finality for the victim's family. And I just think it's so weird that Jen didn't show up to this. Like, she didn't have a statement, which I still don't understand why Jen hasn't been taken to task. But that's what Stefan Sterns did. and we are looking at his new digs.
They don't even show you what it looks like on their website because it's so bad and there's so much corruption. All right. I'm dead serious and I'm going to show you why. Abso-freaking-lutely it is. Some of you guys don't even know what that means to be the worst prison and what's happening. So you can take a look at all that.
You know, it's a bad prison when it's the worst prison in Florida. And you could imagine, like, I don't imagine the prisons in Florida are that great. Although Lindsay was in a prison in Florida and she said the food in the prison, which was the same prison that Sarah Boone is in, was good. So like, but yeah. Whoops, I didn't mean to go that fast. Just trying to speed it up a little bit.
Why you look at that? Why? I'm not the only one that says that. Obviously, Stefan Sterns has moved to his forever home in ACI, or Appalachian Correction Institute. Right? It's one of the oldest Florida and worst prisons. It's one of the oldest Florida and oldest and worst. All right. This freaking thing was built in 1949 and it hasn't been updated, guys. The Appalachian Correctional Institute. It's the East Unit. It's a state prison for men that are located in Sneads, Jackson County, Florida. It's owned and operated by the Florida Department of Corrections, and it has a mix of security levels, including minimum, medium, and closed, and houses adults and male offenders. Now, the first time it came out was in 1949, where they came up with the Appalachian Correction Institute, and they made the East Unit. It has a maximum of 1,322 prisoners. And it's just real bad, guys. It's real bad.
I did a quick little Google and I said, Appalachian Correctional Institution problems. And it says problems at the Appalachian Correctional Institution, ACI, include physical health deficiencies with issues like expired medical supplies and incomplete health logs documented in past corrective action plans. Additionally, human rights concerns were raised by the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. In 2023, these cited allegations of abuse by both gang inmates and prison officials, and the state's failure to act with due diligence to investigate these claims. Staff training and resources issues are also a recurring theme, with audits highlighting shortcomings in employee and contractor training, as well as the importance of addressing inmate access to confidential support services. So it looks like there's a lot of those problems going on. Looks like there was a beating. Appalachian beating. Oh man, these ad blockers. Anyway. There was a beating, puts prison brutally in spotlight. This was in 2018. Panama City hospital staff have a protocol of keeping a prisoner patient door shut, but in the 4 days after accepting inmate Darren Glover into the ICU on July 13th, 2015, they diverged from that protocol out of fear they wouldn't reach him in time if he flatlined. So there's that going on in Stefan Sterns' jailio, prisonio. Hold on a second. I need to fix. It says that my browser isn't connected. Sometimes it remains connected. Sometimes it doesn't. So I need to reconnect it just in case. Okay.
East Unit of Appalachian Correctional Institute. Wait till you see what it looks like. You guys are just literally saying that sounds terrible. Just wait, guys. I'm going to show you the first thing, and then I want to show you something. I want to make sure we touch on Maddie. All right, so let's just start with an inmate death at that prison. All right, inmate death in Appalachia. We're just getting.
Okay, let's go forward and see if we can get into the photos she's going to show. Again, I will put the links for everything in the YouTube show notes. We do this for fair play use and to cite our sources. We often talk over things, stop, start, move around. Yeah, but if you want to watch it in its entirety, that's where you can find it.
Literally right there. It's the Appalachia Correctional Institute, and it's the East Unit. Now, if you look at it, they're showing this from the 1970s. I can't find anything else.
And they're showing it from far away and I think they're using the Bigfoot camera on it. You can't even, it's like shaky and moving and you can't really see it.
Not anything else, but just inside an aerial view. It's like they just gave up on it after a while. All right. So API is where, or ACI is where Stefan's going to be. All right. Appalachia Correction Institute, ACI, excuse me. It's one of the state's oldest prisons, and they claim for it to be the worst.
They're having it. They're cleaning and killing chickens. Is it like it makes a chicken coop? Like I don't understand.
First, this is what they're doing in there, guys. This is how they did this in the 1970s.
Are they still doing that to this day?
Now we have 333 people. Stop for a second. Say a prayer that Maddie gets the justice she deserves. This is the prison from the 70s, all right? So we're taking it way back to Appalachia. So that's where Stefan is, okay? Now, it's interesting because they do talk about having safety concerns and lots of violence. So as we watch this, play this video, you guys are going to see. All right, you're going to see what's going on. Whether he requests,
I mean, if they had all this chicken and cows, at least they were probably getting some fresh food. Let me see what you guys are saying. I would stop eating chicken. Yeah, I'm sure they don't like it. Yeah, she said it was in Jackson County. Which Panama City hospital? I don't know. I really scanned the thing. I will put the link for it if you want to read through it. And also you had to subscribe to the publication. And I couldn't, so I stopped reading it. But I didn't know that prisons did like a dairy. It looks like it's a farm, but probably not now. This was the 70s.
Or not. They may not care about Stefan Sterns, especially with what he's been convicted of and suspicion of. They may just say, we don't care about him. Let's bury what he has to say. No pun intended, right? What's up, everybody? Did I miss something? Foxy Amazon gifted one guilty of crime membership.
I was trying to see if we could get some more information on it, and it looks like the 10 worst prisons in Florida in 2023. Walton Correctional, DeSoto Annex, Charlotte Correctional, Swanee Correctional, Lowell Prison, Santa Rosa, Columbia Correctional, Dade, Martin, Union, but I don't see the Appalachian in here. Appalachia. There's a lot of correctionals in Florida, though. Unless Appalachia is called something else. And then here is a review. Well, I don't want to sign in while online, but the review on Indeed, it got a 3 stars. But there sure isn't a lot of photos or anything of it. Oh, wait, there's some. But it is from the 70s. I mean, I guess as far as prisons go, it looks like any other prison. Looks like there's a beating here. Appalachia beating puts prison brutally. Oh, there's that. That's the guy that went to the hospital. This looks horrible. SPLC proposes fixes. Oh, that's Alabama. Sorry. Let me go back. So not all, even all of this are Appalachia. So I guess she is right. There's not a lot. Is this the Appalachian one that's locking people in shower stalls? Huh. So I guess she's right. There really isn't a lot of photos of this prison. It must be because it's so horrible. Gosh darn it. It says it lost it again. Hold on a second, you guys. It keeps telling me that it's lost my browser.
There's lots of gang activities, and the East Unit is dangerous because life is cheap there. It says, I've seen inmates robbed at point blank range. The inmate robbing the other inmate is usually armed with a shank or a hooker, is what they called it. Now, listen, the reason I say that, another reason why it's very terrible, is because the people that go there don't have money, or people already have given up on them, versus Stefan Sterns, that when...
Well, I can't imagine Stefan Sterns is going to have a good time at any prison because of what he's in prison for. I mean, he's you know, the shit on the bottom of society's shoe. So, I mean, he's worse than a schmurderer in prison. So, I can't imagine. But if this prison's so bad, it sounds like he's going to have a horrible time, and I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
The criminals see him on the news, or they hear that Deb and Chris are giving him money for commissary, they might just come and want to shank him if he doesn't give his commissary up from Chris and Deb. And that is the reality of this prison. Again, they haven't done ish since 1970. I'm going to show you. This is in California, guys. We're talking about Appalachia Correctional Institute. It's a Florida Department of Corrections branch. And that's what we're looking at right here, guys. We're just looking at them build it.
That's why I couldn't find it in Florida, because it's in California, but it's a branch of Florida. Interesting. That's interesting.
It's the nature of prison, guys. It's the nature of prison. You don't go to prison to have a good time. And they definitely put him in one of the worst prisons that he could possibly be in. One of the oldest and one of the most dangerous, like I said. All right. So let's keep going. My internet is slow today. I feel like it's been like that. All right, hold on. All right.
The overwhelming majority of Florida's counties are considered rural.
All right, hold on. Okay, so let's listen to this real quick. Again, this is the prison. This is it's one of the most dangerous they pride themselves on. And new arrivals, guys, are warned immediately about the dangers. They warn you about danger inside a prison. They warn you about the day-to-day. The warden will give you this. The warden warns you the second you get off the bus about the dangers of getting robbed or even red-rummed inside of that prison. All right. Staffing conditions are challenging. Very challenging is a nice word, with someone calling it. Now, listen, you guys can make your mind up, but these people are calling it the worst compound in the state. Bad administration, severely understaffed inmates run the compound, poor equipment, and used uniforms is covered in mold and rats. Right? If you guys want to hear that again, just read this down there. They pride themselves on talking about their prison being one of the worst and most dangerous. All right. So you guys want to look at that? Take a look at that. It's the nature of that beast.
Here it says employee reviews describe challenging working conditions, with some calling it the worst compound in the state. But administration severely understaffed, inmates run the compound, poor equipment. So.
All right, let's take a look at this. It's called Crisis in Corrections, and it's giving you a good idea of what the crises are and what Stefan Sterns is facing.
and are home to most of Florida's prisons. And those prisons are often the top employer in those communities. Now a labor crisis is threatening many of these facilities, causing them to shut down. And that could have a huge economic.
Well, that's happening around prisons all across the country. I mean, it seems like it'd be a horrible job to have. Ugh.
Impact. Florida's crisis in corrections is leaving Cross City.
And I think this is important so you guys can understand.
So it's
even
not
if
in California. She said Florida, but did she say California? I thought she said California, but I think it's in Florida. Let me look where this is.
effing gets transferred to another Florida prison system, it's not good, guys. I did some really deep research on this. I've been researching these prisons since Stefan was moved, and I didn't know where he was going to go. All right, so I did not know that, but that is the nature of being in prison and the crisis in the corrections of.
So it looks like in Appalachia Correctional Institution, well, the West unit. Didn't they say he's in the East unit? It's in it's Sneeds, Florida. The warden is David Maddox. And this is the East unit that they're saying he's in. Says there's academic programs, but she reported that there isn't. And the vocational programs, it's not chickens, it's cabinet making these days. So they must have got rid of the chickens. The chickens. Too bad. I would have loved to see Stefan Sterns have to pluck a chicken. I want to see if she linked this video in her. She does. Oh, good. I want to just go in and look at it ourselves. So, welcome to those that are just joining us. We've got Florida Woman Friday going on here. We have looked at some of our favorite Florida cases. We looked at Donna Adelson. We looked at Sarah Boone, and now we are at Stefan Sterns. We're in he's at the Appalachia prison in Florida, and it's reportedly one of the worst prisons, and he's having a really bad time, mold and rats, and apparently gangs run the show and the prison guards are all corrupt. And yeah, so he's just not having a good time. And this is the prison that he's at right now. And this appears to be the type of unit he's in where, oh gosh, this would be a nightmare. Oh. Are they? Well, they're not bunk beds at least, but well, some of them are bunk beds. And so he's basically in a powder keg. Let's see what else. Let me get to the other links that she has down there. Hold on. Got too many things open. Okay, so and let's go over to this one. It looks like Stefan Sterns at new prison, and the gang members are waiting for him. There's no volume. Okay, something's happening with my. Let me stop it and try to reshare my screen.
The barrel. We are here to talk about where he is at and what's going on with this disgusting chomo. So for those that don't know, my name is Pino. I've spent over 10 years incarcerated in the state of Florida, numerous institutions, numerous jails, prisons, different times, 3 years on one bid, 7 years on another, spent a lot of my adolescent life incarcerated. And I enjoy speaking on true crime and anything that has to do with true crime, criminality, and anything that has to do with the criminal underworld in general. We speak on it over here in Raw Talk. Now, today we're here to talk about Mr. Stefan Sterns. Stefan Sterns was moved this morning, early morning. Pack it up. They told Stefan get on a bus and they sent him to Appalachia Correctional Institution East Unit. So for those that don't know who Pino is, I actually got released from Appalachia Corrections East Unit. Stefan Sterns is currently...
This is even better. He was actually at the same unit as what Stefan Sterns is currently residing in.
Housed on administrative confinement, which is protective management. For those that don't know, administrative confinement houses protective management, and protective management is a form of protection. It is not permanent protection. It is temporary protection. And this morning, he was transferred from Central Florida Reception Center to Appalachia Correctional Institution. He remains in administrative confinement under protective management.
When was this made? This was made 2 weeks ago, so he's maybe settled in by now.
However, that can change within the next 72 hours. So Mr. Stefan Sterns is on administrative confinement. But like I said, within 72 hours, he can be released. He is at his permanent camp now. He is no longer in reception. He is at Appalachia Correctional Institution, which in my opinion is one of the most dangerous prisons in the state of Florida. When I was at Appalachia Correctional Institution, majority of the compound was either gang members, psych patients, or gays. Now, I did reach out to a source, somebody who I was incarcerated with at Appalachia Correctional Institution. And they do say that word is being passed around and the predators have their antennas up. See, Mr. Stefan Sterns cannot remain in confinement his whole time. It was all right. He checked into protective management at Central Florida Reception Center. And it's only right when he gets transferred, he'll still be in confinement at Appalachia Correctional Institution. But what I know about Appalachia Correctional Institution is they won't keep you in confinement forever. He has about 72 hours before classification goes over his file and decides to send him to no other than our dorm.
They're going to be like, nope, time to fly, little bird. It's time to fly. Time to get a few of your licks and you're just.
You don't know what our dorm is. It is a close custody dorm. Almost everybody. I spent majority of my time in our dorm, in R3 to be exact, and almost everybody in our dorm has a life sentence. As a matter of fact, when I was at Appalachian Correctional Institution, 90% of the compound had a knife. There was even
I mean, that's what everybody that I like, the pokey thing is the weapon of choice in prison. I can't imagine, like, it would be very hard to have a pew-pew in there. So it seems like the pokey would be the thing. And sorry, I have to use these words for YouTube. It just bothers me. Right, Junie? I wish I could stop it. Looks like the little bird's getting done with his shower too. So, but we're wrapping things up. Let's keep going and just finish up and just rolling around in Stefan Sterns' misery and enjoying it. And then I hope you guys go out there and have a wonderful Friday. I can't believe it's only 11:55. The little bird decided to wake up at 5:30, and I feel like I have a full last day by noon when I get up at 5:30. Because really, I wake up early anyway. I wake up about between 5 and 6, but once he gets up, I just have to, it's like having a kid, you know, you got to get the treats ready. You got to turn the lights on. You got to get him comfy, cozy. You got to entertain. And it's like, oh, it's not what I want to do at 5:30 in the morning.
Of homosexuals on the compound called the OKs, and they will end your life just as fast as a blood or a crip.
Get an animal that talks, Amy said to herself. It'll be fun. I hope he talks, I said. I just like, it's a special kind of bond having a bird that can communicate with you with words, and you know sometimes the words he's using are right. And it totally melts my heart when he says, I love you. But 5:30 in the morning is just too early to wake up. He has been getting a little bit better and sleeping to 6 or 6:30. The first time he slept to 6:30, I had to go in and rattle the cage. I felt like I was doing a Jessica laying in terms of endearment and going in and rattling the crib to make sure the baby was still awake, because that's so abnormal. But yeah, I don't want to make it sound like having a bird is a bad thing, because it's a very beautiful thing, but it's the thing that you should think hard and long before doing.
Now, where does this put Stefan Sterns? Like I said, I talked to an inside source at Appalachia Correctional Institution, and they do say that the predators are waiting on Stefan Sterns. Now, is Stefan Sterns the only chomo at Appalachia Correctional Institution? Absolutely not. He's not. See, there are other chomos at Appalachia Correctional Institution, such as this guy right here. And if you read this guy's charges, they are completely disgusting, as well as this guy who is sentenced to 25 mandatory for charges that are unspeakable. Now, will Stefan...
Well, I bet you Stefan Sterns will have a new bestie going in then. I'm sorry somebody did that to you, Kim. That sucks. And sorry that happened to you, Olga. People are doing things just to be cruel these days, and I don't understand it. That's why you got to up your game and try to be a little extra kind to people, because why do? But you know, there are people out there that just aren't nice people. When somebody, there was a channel that was coming after me, and somebody said to me, like, what kind of people follow that person? And I'm like, well, they're not the only one in this world that are unkind, so they attract the other unkind people. So I mean, there's a whole world of kind people too, and I hope some of those people you come across these days too.
Sterns fall into a line and maybe be able to do his time like these two individuals. That is a possibility, because with every prison, there's always that one dorm that they consider a safe dorm, whether it be, you know, a faith-based dorm, or whether it may be an honorary dorm or a trustee dorm or a dorm where a lot of orderlies work, like the canteen orderly, the maintenance orderly. Is this a possibility that Stefan Sterns will land in this dorm? Yes, but it all depends on classification. See, if classification decides that he is not eligible for one of these dorms, what's going to happen is they're going to put him in our dorm, and I can guarantee you Stefan Sterns will be somebody's wife within a month time frame. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is, you know, it's a whole nother world in there.
Okay, so he's saying that there is a possibility that Stefan Sterns will not be put into the safe dorm, and there's a possibility that he will be put into the R dorm. And it sounds like the R dorm is not the safe dorm, and that Stefan may end up being somebody's little wifey. So those are the updates I have for today. I'm trying to anyway, I'm just not having a great day either. I had some things happen that I'm a little unhappy about, but I mean, I don't know. I hate when I feel this way, because I'm somebody who feels like I can make things happen with my sheer will. And when my sheer will isn't like planning and plotting and trying to get things done, just isn't enough. It's just hard. So yeah, he's pretty amazing. He is. He's a bossy little thing, though. It's funny, though, because my own words come back to haunt me. He repeats, you know, phrases and words. Thankfully, I don't like walk around swearing, so he hasn't picked up. Well, I do swear from time to time, but I try not to swear too much, because if I start to swear, then I swear online, and I don't want to swear in front of you guys. I just don't think it sounds good. But I do love a good swear word, and when I'm frightened or anything startles me, the F word will come flying out, because I am a Gen Xer, and so, you know. But thankfully he hasn't picked up any of that. But stop it, he has down pat. And he gets the right tone and inflection in that one. So having your bird tell you to stop it is a lot, but it's funny too. One day I will film all his words. He's got a lot of words. He says more than, I mean, he says, stop it. He says, I love you. He loves phrases that have his name in it, and his name's Junebug. So he loves, like, I do vocal warm-ups, because it sounds like I have a bag of rocks in my mouth. If I don't, still sounds like that sometimes. But so I do like the how many woodchucks could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck woodchucks, and he loves that one. But he loves it when I replace it with June bugs. So how many June bugs could a June bug chuck if a June bug could chuck woodchucks, and stuff like that. Like, he loves when I do little sing-songy word things, but I put June bug in instead. So like rubber baby buggy bumpers is rubber baby Junie buggy bumpers. You know, stuff like that. He loves it. So it is like having a child, and it's fun, but sometimes it's stressful. But anyway, that's it, you guys. Thank you for being here for Florida Woman Friday. What do you guys think? I do like covering the Florida cases. Do you think Donna Adelson was guilty? Our blame Boone, Sarah Boone, she's still exhausting, right? Completely exhausting. I will we'll do Donna next week, and I'll do her whole case, and we'll look at everybody in the case, so that we can, you know, and I'll figure out when her sentencing is too. It might even been before then. So I think Donna was guilty. I don't think they had it wasn't slam dunk, but kind of it was, because, you know, you're supposed to be able to go in there innocent before guilty, but I don't think that happens too much in this day and age. So, but I think she was guilty. The other case that I wanted to talk about, and I'll tack it on another time, but I thought Oh, also I wanted to show you this too. I thought this was fun. We have we cover the missing and murdered Indigenous women cases with Into the Weeds podcast, and they are at CrimeCon. This is them heading down to CrimeCon, and I thought that was fun that they're at CrimeCon. But and guess who else is at CrimeCon? Vinny's at CrimeCon. And so I thought that was fun. And then I was like, ooh, I wonder if the ladies from Into the Weeds had set up their booth yet. And it looks like they do have a booth. This is the people, they're doing it with Military Broadcast Radio. That's the people that they're doing the booth with and going down with. And there's their booth. And it's really amazing because Amber and Alora, they printed off little postcards for our missing and murdered Indigenous women, and they're handing them out. So it's really amazing. I was talking to Amber the other day, and she had mentioned that she has found 3 missing people because she does other missing cases. And I was like, wow, here I thought I was important finding one because we found Shannon, and I was like, wow, I've got to kick my butt into gear. 3, one, I was like, whoa, 1, hallelujah. But she's got 3 under her belt now, so we got to keep going, right? So I just wanted to show you that CrimeCon's going on. If you're at CrimeCon, stop by and say hi to Into the Weeds and Vinny. Yes, I know, but my aunt's parrot was saying and repeating all what they had been talking. Yeah, they do give away the deets in the home. Like you'll know, like he'll just out of the blue say to me, "Mommy's going outside," and I'm like, "No, Mommy's not going outside." But I say that to him so he knows that I'm like they're flock animals. He knows that Mommy's going outside means I'm going to be leaving for a moment. So, and he'll just say common things that he and I say to each other. So, well, if you ever decide to get a little bird, there is a bird sanctuary here, and there's also, I got Junie from a breeder. I wanted a baby bird, and so she has really cute birdies if you ever want one. Okay, guys, that's all I have for today. I'm starting to get stuffy. I'm annoyed, and I'm having an annoyed day, and I get stuffy when I am having when a flare is starting. So I have to try to calm myself down, because like I said, there's nothing, I hate when there's nothing I can do about a situation. Like I've thrown everything at a situation and there's nothing I can do, and I feel helpless about something, and I just don't like feeling this way. So, but I guess we all have to suck it up, and we don't all get our way at times. So, but anyway, the world is crazy right now. People are doing things purposely to upset you. And it's because energy vampirism is on the rise, in my opinion. And people get a thrill, a rush out of making other people unhappy. They feed off of that energy, which, I mean, if it's the only energy they've ever been fed, then that's the energy that they're going to try to feed off of. And maybe that's a reason why they do it. But having autoimmunes, I've learned that my energy, my peace of mind is my liquid gold. And so I try to protect it as much as possible. And I do that by surrounding myself with you guys, surrounding myself with people of like mind that are open-minded, that can agree to disagree, that might have my same opinion, but might not. that understand that not everybody's going to have the same opinions on things, and that's diversity and that's beauty. And so, and watching funny things and watching inspiring things. And I dive into my animals. I love animals. I am an animal person. So I watch the elephants and I watch the dogs. And lately I've been into pygmies. I don't know. They popped up over on my Facebook and now they're popping up over here. So anyway, what I'm saying is that you need to make yourself the most important thing, and don't give away your energy to other people because they want it and they'll feed off of it. Only give it away if they're inducing kindness and happiness and that type of energy. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thank you, Olga and Kim, for hanging out with me. And if I missed anybody else, thank you for hanging out. Hi to everybody in the outer regions. I love you. Friday's my most favorite day. So go out there and feel some joy, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out.
With you tonight, and it feels fine. Feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling out, hoping for some time with you.